Hey, what's up guys? Sir Emanon here, and we are currently live with the LCS finals that's happening this weekend, and it looks like the players already actually did the rock, paper, scissors, so I have no idea who won, but looks like they actually just did get started here. We're waiting for a little bit, so yeah, we're gonna hop right into finals. Looks like Matt is going first, and to my knowledge that they're on Dragon Link, and Rail, meaning Rail, is on Tri-Brigade Zoodiac. So we did skip top four for the time being. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to go back and kind of recast the top four. I just found that, well, one of them was the Dragon Link mirror, which, people usually don't want to see. And the other one was the matchup, the same matchup that we covered in top eight anyway. So if you want me to cover one or both of those, let me know. But it looks like we're going to see a Rocket Tracer being normal summoned, followed by a Link summon of course, the Striker Dragon. So that's going to go and grab the Boot Sector launch from the deck to the hand. But that's going to be immediately met with the Jolin Lockbird. So going to cut off any searches, no follow-ups like Chaos Space, for example. But Triple Tactics Talent is a pretty solid answer to that, and looking at the hand is probably worst case scenario since it'll rip any potential other hand traps or, the best starter of the Tri-Brigade Zoo player's hand. So that is a super, super solid sign. Now we'll see if there is any follow-up. At minimum, this is Savage, since they can, of course, go Striker, pop itself, grab back Recharger into Brute Sector, or where they can go for Chaos Ruler if they really want to. High roll really depends on the remaining 3 cards in hand. And obviously, Triple Tactics Talent against Drill turn 1, they can only look at the hand. But generally speaking, like against an Ash or other hand traps, if they still opt to look at your hand, they're in a pretty good position. So. But they're taking quite a while to think, so maybe this hand is a pretty powerful one. We'll have to see. I didn't really watch these players too much in particular, so I can't comment too much about what their lists are looking like. I do know that Contact C has been really popular in the top 8 so far. So Tenki is going to be grabbed, and it looks like one of the resource judges was pointing at their hands there. I kind of wonder if they want them to reveal for public knowledge's sake. Could be possible. Okay, so it's Fractal, Desires, and Nerval as the remaining 3 cards. So it's interesting that they chose to take away Tenki then. Maybe they just want to cut off the Zoo engine, which is reasonable. So maybe they'll try and full combo here, given the fact that they know that there is no more, there are no more interruptions. Just gonna go ahead and close these other tabs here. I don't think you guys can see those, but Boot Sector Launch is gonna be the follow-up, and there already are rockets in hand. Wow, talk about a solid extender. So we got Tracer and Recharger already. So this actually could lead into the Guard Dragon combo pretty easily. They don't even have to commit Tracer effect. They can just go into Hcabe back. So they can also just go Chaos Ruler here, which is equally as good, if not better. So that is going to go ahead and be activated. That's going to mill 5. Picking up Safred off of that potentially. Oh, wait, no, they're under Drill. I totally forgot. So they're just going to end on Seal here. And they're going to set 1, likely Tidying, which is definitely fine. So Seal is going to have to put in a lot of work, for sure. So they're going to begin with a copy of Desires, which is already known. There is no Kairos in hand at the moment, unless if it was drawn for turn, or off this Desires here. So we will see. Yeah, I guess maybe Guard Dragon comboing isn't that efficient if you want to keep your Boot Sector as follow-up. And if you also, can't really get access to, like, Chamber. I mean, you could, obviously, but under Drill does nothing. Same with, like, summoning Brotar or Safer. Like, all the LB targets, they don't really do as much under Drill, which is what makes the card decently effective. We're going to see Kairos, though, being summoned, so that did eventually get to the hand, either by being drawn for turn or via Desires. Same with Kip. So that's going to send Nerval. So we know Fractal and Nerval in hand as well. So Nerval is going to be able to add another copy of Kit. So we know the hand is Kit, Fractal, and Nerval. So Seal is going to go and bounce the Kairos just before it gets value. and then Seal Engrave is going to go and be activated. So they're going to get another dragon here, and provided that the only way they can put a body on the field is your normal summon, and this is tidying, that's a pretty good response. So they have one each of the Tri-Brigades and then one unknown card. That unknown card is going to have to be very, very good to get them out of this. And they're also going to pick a black metal, which is actually something a lot of people have cut, this and Red MD, but electing to play it here. And this is definitely a spot where it shines because like it has such good synergy, just being able to get access to Red MD whenever you need to. And then like Red MD with Recharger obviously is just a lot of extension. So we are gonna see what happens here. They're gonna normal summon Kit. If this is tidying, yeah, and there's no response, and there's no way to put another body on field, then this is probably just game over. So they do have Fractal, which again we knew about from the opening hand due to the Triple Tactics talent. That can go and send another Tri-Beast to the graveyard. They're going to send Chaos here. Maybe the last card in their hand is a copy of Revolt. That would be pretty good. It is a back row. Okay. So we know the cards in hand are Kit, Nerval, Chaos. Exactly. They don't have too much else to do, however. So I wonder what they're thinking about. Yeah, whatever card is set here is going to have to get them there, considering the fact that, again, the only card really in the hand, or the card in hand that is known is the Black Metal Dragon, which gets them very, very far by itself. And so even if they go for, like, Shirai to go and banish it, like, on summon, they can just boot sector launch back one of these rockets, and it'll, you know, it won't really matter too much. But if they don't, then they're going to get a lot of mileage out of just going into Striker Dragon immediately. So it's kind of a tough decision either way. Like if you go in, or if you let them go into Striker and search, and then you like banish the Striker Dragon off the Shrike, then they can still boot Sector Launch, and they'll have Red MD in hand. So that definitely isn't the greatest idea. So you might just consider waiting then until they put more bodies on the field so they can't use Boot Sector as an extender. Because if you do it, yeah, if you do it at any point where they just have one monster, it's just not gonna turn out well. So I'm just assuming this is Revolt at this point, by the way. If this is not Revolt, then all of this is kind of irrelevant. All this discussion is not really meaningful. But they are gonna actually trigger it here. So that is pretty interesting. Unless if they don't opt to go Shrike. I can't imagine they don't, but we'll see. So they are going to summon 4 back, which, you know, definitely means Shrike is coming down for sure. So they will get extra value at the very least. I mean, they already had all the Tri-Brigades in their hand, so it's not the greatest, but it's more for the advantage if they do survive this turn. The problem is, you know, actually surviving this turn. This can also be brought back via Pisty. So if they can get there, then that's not amazing. So yeah, Chainlink 1 Nerval, Chainlink 2 Shrike. They're gonna go and add another Fractal. So the hand is, again, one each of the Tri-Beasts. It's Fractal, Kit, Nerval, and Karos. So they can boot Sector back of Rockets. They also have Chaos Ruler to bring itself back. They can summon, like, Rocket Synchron. I'm not sure if they play any generic Link 2 Darks, though. Also depends on the card they drew for turn. They never got access to Chamber, they just hard drew the Tidying, so that's not really a super amazing amazing extender here or anything. But yeah, they know that there's no interruptions. Also, if you guys can hear the dog in the background, I apologize. That is my neighbor's dog. Can't really do anything about that. But regardless, this is why I generally actually try and avoid recording during the daytime. Because of this. I try and record at night. So yeah. But anyways, carrying on here. They're thinking for quite a while. Yeah, it's not actually that good. So maybe that actually was a fair time to use the Shrike. Or to drop the Revolt. Because their options are limited. So they're going to go for Rocket Synchron. Yeah, even if they do play generic Link 2 Dark, it doesn't really matter. So I guess they're just going for... they can go Chaos Ruler into Hot Red. They can clear the Shrike. And then they can go Savage. Oh no, this brings like a tuner. And this also is a tuner. Well, they still can do it. They can still go into... what's it called? They can still go into Savage. Because they just go Striker Dragon and then cycle it back for Recharger. Because Recharger can summon itself. Yeah, so I think that's the play. Yeah, they should only take 200 from this. And it doesn't actually get any search here because there's nothing banished. Abyss triggers here. Gonna go for Rocket Synchron. They can link off the Synchron in main phase 2. Because they can't go Seal. But yeah, Savage. Savage plus Hot Red is not bad. Yeah, they're gonna Striker Dragon, targeting itself and Recharger, and then Recharger effect, target Striker Dragon, and then Recharger summon itself. And then they're good to go from there. So if Rail can play past this, then they'll be in a good spot because there's no more Brute Sector launch on the field. Now the question is what the card in hand happens to be. Oh, if that's another Tidying, that would be interesting. It's not the greatest here though, because again, there's just not really any follow-ups right now from Dragon Link, which is really, really weird to say, by the way. That's not something you say super often. That can change in an instant, obviously, depending on what the top deck happens to be. But yeah, if there's any way for them to play past this, they at minimum have a lot of Tri-Brigades to work with. Maybe too many Tri-Brigades in all honesty. So they have, I'm just trying to run through the hand again. It's Nerval, Kit, Keras, and Fractal. Yeah, shuffling back the Tenki off the Triple Tactics talent turn 1 definitely was big there. Because again, it just shut off any access to, like, or any immediate access to Zoos. And Zoos apply a lot of pressure by themselves. Keras is going to be activated here. That's going to go and pitch the Nerval in hand. Do they choose to Savage negate this? If you Savage negate this, Hot Red, whatever, it gets summoned, then they have to have like a very specific card that was drawn for turn in order to beat that. Yeah, I definitely think it is worth Savaging. Yeah, I mean, I guess you risk losing the Gamma. But if you don't do it and you let it hit the board and then you try and Savage it on field effect, and then you like Hot Red trying to get the other one, then they like go into they can go into Link 2 play, which would definitely not be what you want for sure. Because I could get like Farigit, and they have like all the names in circulation. They were actually just gonna set and pass, so they're not even gonna try and go for it. Oh, and they didn't have any back row either, so maybe they just drew another monster they couldn't use. So we're going to see a draw for turn off the Dragon Link player. If this is any dragon that's normal summonable, then they can go very far again. Or if it's like a World Legacy Guard Dragon, that would also be good. Because I can get safer, and that would just pretty much end the game by itself. Their zone positioning was interesting here for these monsters, because their Guard Dragon arrows are kind of scuffed now. Unless if they like specifically have World Legacy Guard Dragon. So they're thinking here as well. Looks like their draw was not spectacular. They have almost perfect information. Oh, also notably, Rail did not declare Nerval effect. So they might just be straight up out of Tri-Brigades. Kairos has 15 defense. Fractal has 16, Nerval has 2k, Kit has 1k. Yeah. Any way to unlock the safer or like the grave effect of tidying would just be the end of the game. Recharge by itself is not fantastic right now, but it's fine. At minimum, you can go for damage with Hot Red and then like summon back a tuner, which is decent. It doesn't do a lot, but it's okay. Looks like that is what's gonna happen though. This is still good though. Okay, so they set Fractal instead. Yeah, I definitely don't think you set Chaos of all of your Tri-Brigades. They're gonna go and summon back pretty much any tuner. And this is good because if the set card is a second copy of Tidying, now it's like reasonably live without having to, you know, relinquish your pressure. Which is what you want. Oh, they drew the other copy of Synchron. That is nasty. This can just be Seal. Yeah, that's like good enough. So they have to do with Seal, Savage, Hot Red, and likely Tidying, and that's just going to be the end of the game. Yeah, so wow, Dragon Link going to be taking game 1 in a very unexpected fashion, actually. A relatively conservative board. Like, it definitely wasn't full combo or anything turn 1 after getting drilled. But yeah, just the hard drawn Tidying was really good, and Rail just drew so many Tri-Brigades. Like, the Desires drew, like, between the Desires and the draw for turn, it was, I believe, Kit, Kairos, and Revolt, because the cards in hand were already Fractal, Nerval, and Desires, obviously. So yeah, the shuffling back of Tenki was a really, really smart decision. Just knowing that the other 2 cards in hand basically would just get into more Tri-Brigades anyways, so like they functioned as the same card. Even though it's tempting to shuffle back Desires, Desires isn't guaranteed to get you into the Zoo engine, which is one of the ways that like you can just immediately have your board be threatened. Because like granted, you would still be required to use like the same interruptions in that case. Like you would still bounce, for example, the Zoo monster, but having that as a repeatable way to like force interruptions every turn would be super impactful. I think that in any case, it was just too many Tri-Brigades anyways. So like maybe the Tenki being shuffled back, I'm overstating its importance. It might not have been that big of a deal, but it definitely was a smart call, just given the way that the game worked out. Obviously, unfortunate for Rail that they they just didn't draw much of their defensive cards. But they're going first. They start out with Desires, and looks like Matt has no response to that. They're gonna then go for the Tenki here. So I wonder if they actually are able to go for the Rat combo or if they elect to. It's hard in this kind of case to know. They do pick up a Fractal, so that's going to get them off to a pretty good start. Fractal is going to go and send a copy of Kit to the graveyard, and then Kit's going to grab, or rather send another Tri-Beast, or Tri-Brigade card, I should say, not Tri-Beast. But sending Nerval. Getting another search here. We saw in the top 8 match that Desires can definitely be a bit of a hindrance depending on specifically what you banish and what you open. Like mostly in regards to Nerval. Because that player ended up banishing 2 Nerval and drew the 3rd one. So the Fractal ended up only really being able to cycle through Kits for more fodder. And I believe Kit was the ad there off the Nerval. So I wonder if we are going to see Contact C coming down anytime this game. That would be pretty interesting. That card's really, really cool to see. And no pun intended. Cool to see Contact C. But yeah, only one card being played so far, really. Ooh, but they did draw the Barrage. That is very solid. Depending on what targets they have remaining in their deck. And they do have at least one, it appears. So they're going to go with Thoroughblade. So were they lucky enough to draw another Zoo card to pitch? The answer looks like is no. So it's going to go straight up into Trident here. And they also have not normaled, of course. So they still have their entire Tri-Brigade line. Wondering if they're going to go for like... Okay, so they're going to go for Kid. I wonder if they have Chaos in hand. It's kind of cool, like, scrolling through who's watching here. There's, like, a lot of names that you guys probably recognize. But yeah, I always like kind of scrolling through the watchers chat in these. Or not watchers chat, but just the watchers. We're going to see Kit come down. That's going to banish 3. So they might go for Rugal. Ooh, there's a response here. Are they going to Gamma this? Or are they going to Valor it? Both have synergy with Chaos Ruler, which is pretty cool. It is going to be Gamma. So that is pretty solid. Ooh, does Rail have Ash? If you Ash Gamma, you get to resolve. I wonder what play they're going for here. Do they have Chaos to extend? So they're going to let the Gamma resolve. Looks like they don't have any more extensions. They're just going to set 2 and pass. So this is looking like a just a zoo board right now. So any manner of like Lightning Storm would be really, really solid here. Potentially just game ending on the spot. Oh, and that's close enough. Heartbeat Feather Duster is really, really close. Okay, Revo actually is a pretty good response. That is for sure. So that's going to get them to just more follow-ups, which is not bad. So they're going to go and summon 3, it looks like. Oh, no, that 3 was from earlier. Or maybe they are actually summoning 3. They do get to also trigger the Nerval here. And potentially Kids if they want. They're going to go for Rugal. And down goes Imperm. They can Barrage Attach as well. Which is the effect that a lot of people do forget about. So I wonder what Rugal would accomplish here. I mean, it is another blocker at minimum. And do they decide to use Kit here? I feel like they have a lot of their engine already in place. And they're triggering Nerval anyways. So maybe they just don't use Nerval. Maybe it's just Nerval and Barrage. Or sorry, maybe they don't use Kit. Maybe it is just Nerval Barrage. Yeah, it is just Nerval Barrage. Figured. We don't have any knowledge of the cards in their hand. We can make a potential read that there is an Ash, given how they responded or had potentially a response to Gamma. Oh, they're gonna also Lightning Storm monsters as well. Wow, so they actually did draw Lightning Storm and Feather Duster. Wow. So Rugal can at least summon a body. It's not great. And they have quick launch. Yeah, it's pretty safe to assume that they have Ash at this point. They're thinking at every possible juncture at which Ash can be used. So the hand was Quick Launch, Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Gamma. There is the Ash. So we know Karos was searched. Oh, that's just going to be a pass. Okay. Nerval goes back to hand because of Rugal, and I think Tri-Brigade is looking in a pretty good spot. Definitely pretty happy about that they survived that turn after getting Feather Dustered, Lightning Stormed. So they have Nerval. They can use Nerval as well as potentially get it into the grave and then get a search and then go for Karos. They can do a lot here. The question is, do they have game? yugioh would be nice here, because that is just straight up 4,800 damage. If they can get that going, then it's pretty easy to assemble lethal from there. I believe Nerval and Karos are the only known cards in hand. So they're going to have to think about this. They have a lot of fodder to work with right now, though. They have 7 Tri-Beasts. Gonna go for Nerval as a normal summon. Pretty expected, unless if there was a better one in hand, but this is certainly a good one. They're gonna go and banish, looks like 2. 3, just kidding. 4, just kidding. So 4, going just for an early Shrike, perhaps. They can go Shrike, they can link away. Does Karos have to summon in defense? I actually forget if Karos has to summon itself in defense position. I guess we'll find out. It'll be summoned to the board most likely. They're gonna go for Farid here. So they're gonna trigger Shrike and Nerv. Oh no, not Nerval. Okay, interesting. So it might just depend on what resources they have remaining in their deck. Maybe they just don't have enough targets. It begs the question, though, then why would they go for... why did they go for Shrike there? Maybe it's just to... Yeah, I was going to say, maybe it's just to add a zoo. Oh, did they just add another copy of TheraBlade? That's definitely different from the normal ratio. Actually, now I think about it, most lists don't even play TheraBlade. I just realized. Most people play, Rat, Whiptail, Ram? Let's see. Okay, this doesn't have to summon in defense. So that answers that question. So they're actually going to expend their Farid on the Karos instead of on the zoo. So Nerval not being used just telegraphs the fact that there is no search target. But yeah, the Omen being used obviously is for zoo stuff. Maybe they just banish their other zoos off Desires and like their other Tri-Brigades. Very, very much possible. So they're going to banish 2 more. So Karos not being summoned via its own effect means that the other 2 cards in hand, I want to say, are probably not Tri-Beasts to pitch. I could be wrong, though. They're going to go for Bear Bloom. So they get another Revolt here as well if they want. They're going to use the on-field effect, actually. So they're going to go and pitch 2 and then bring back a banish level 4 or lower Tri-Beast. So you can bring back Kit or Fractal. And then they can Fractal for Doomeagle, and then that's just way more than enough for game. So this play really just loses to Nib. And that's it. So the card in hand was Droll. That could have been the opening hand and just never have been used because just didn't need to. It could have been Astral plus the I think it was I don't remember what the third card in hand was. It was Karos, I think. Yeah. But Fractal going to be used here. Going to be banishing 3. Doom Eagle plus this is 6k. Yeah, that's already massively over lethal. 35 plus 29 is 64 plus 48 is 72, 10,200 damage. Something like that. I wonder if they have any more other contingencies. Oh, they're gonna actually link off. They're gonna go into access code. Access code targeting Doom Eagle. Alright, I guess that works. I mean, they already had game on board, I'm pretty sure. Unless, if again, I'm just missing something. If there was any attack restrictions, maybe that was the case. I might have missed that. But in any case, we are going to see a game 3 here. So a fair amount of back and forth, which is pretty exciting for sure. Yeah, so a lot of side cards coming in from Gamat there in game 2, but really just not able to get his own engine online. Makes you wonder what the remaining cards in hand were, because we saw Gamma, Storm, Feather Duster, and Quick Launch, and not the other 2 cards. And there weren't hand traps either, so just any ways to stop like that OTK from happening. So we're gonna move on into the all-important game 3. All right, looks like Dragon Link is gonna get to choose. Shocker, they're going first. Very weird. But yeah, we'll see what opening side cards we're gonna see out of the Tri-Brigade player, or just any hand traps or go second cards in general. Black Metal gonna be the normal summon. Gonna go for Striker Dragon. Been a while since we've seen Striker and Black Metal in the same chain like this, but here we go. Pretty good. So it's gonna resolve to grab Brute Sector and Red MD. Is there any Droll? There is. Okay. But we see Triple Tactics Talent come in again and be the savior. This is, I mean, Seal at minimum, which Seal is fine, as we've already seen. There's also 4 other cards. So we are going to see Seal come down. And World Legacy Guard Dragon. Okay. So we're able to go for a Guard Dragon combo as well. Going to turn this into a copy of LP, and then can World Legacy Guard Dragon to move the LP. And then going to activate LP effect. Is there a response? Imperm. So Droll Imperm, definitely not bad. Is there another extender from the side of Gamat? Dragon Link is known for its extenders, obviously. Could just choose to play it safe if they have like Tiding, for example, in their hand. They're already beyond nib range, so not really any point in trying to, be conservative for simply that reason. They could be conservative if they wanted to just hold follow-ups, which is fair. Ooh, looks like they drew Wyver Burster. Yep. So Wyver Burster can turn into Pisty. Can grab Collapse Serpent. Oh, did they draw both the baby Chaos Dragons? Oh wait, no, they're under Droll. Jeez, I need to remember that Droll is a card. Gonna go for Black Metal here. Okay, yeah, so they decided to actually just commit this and for go follow-ups. They're gonna go Romulus here. Oh, okay, so not only were they under Droll, but they actually did draw both of the baby Chaos Dragons. All right, see, I just knew, obviously. I clearly did not forget about Droll. But Appaloosa gonna be coming down here, which is historically pretty good against Tri-Brigade. Because if they have a zoo opener, you can just bounce that, and you can stop the like chaos in hand, for example. If they happen to draw something like, I don't know, Dark Ruler on top of this, then it becomes pretty scary. We know one of the cards in hand is a Boot Sector launch from Dragon Link. Desire's coming down as well. They're digging. They could go for it. If they draw it, then that could just be the end of the match. Whoever wins this game wins the finals. I actually don't know what the prizing is, because I'm not one to really look at that kind of stuff if I'm not playing, especially. But it's definitely a fair amount of money on the line for sure. So Imprim, Droll, Desires. Those are some very good cards to have. They get a Fractal here. It does send for a cost, yeah. They're going to Appaloosa to negate. They're then going to Chalice in response. Oh my goodness, it's Forbidden Chalice. Wow. I really like this card. And we actually have seen this as like a fringe tech. Especially like post side. But this was really, really good here. So gonna go and send Kit to send Nerval and Nerval effect to add. If they have a way to play past Seal, this could just be the end of the game. Oh, and they're grabbing Karos. So they could just go for a normal summon here. And then they would have to think, because like bouncing the normal summon puts back the card that they can pitch for the Karos that they literally just searched. But if you let the normal summon go through, then what happens, right? They can start going for more extension. So if the other unknown if the unknown card in hand is not a very, very powerful hand trap, Seal by itself might just not be enough to get there. Really, that depends on if Tri-Brigade can not only clear the board, but also put up enough follow-ups and have sufficient interruption for whatever Seal ends up bringing out. Notably, there are no rockets in circulation at the current moment, so that might have to be what Seal ends up getting, even though stuff like Chamber is tempting. Just because like Boot Sector launch is such a good extender, especially if you are playing from behind, which could happen after the end of this turn, depending on how things get sequenced. Nerval is the other Tri-Beast in hand. So Gamat has to think here if he wants to bounce. If they do bounce, then again, they have Karos, Rail does, so they might be tempted to just hold on to Seal for a later point. If they had two Tri-Beasts, like if they have the Nerval plus another Tri-Beast in hand, then like, this is just bad anyways. But like giving them the fodder to pitch for Karos just doesn't feel good either. So do you go for it is the question. I do in fact wonder. Alright, so they are going to let that go. I think that's honestly fair, because there's not 4 Tri-Beasts. Oh no. Alright, that is definitely a problem. So Pancratops coming down. That is a powerful, powerful card. Yeah, you know, Pancratops also could have forced Seal, but I guess they just wanted more mileage out of the Chalice, which they already drew. If they go battle phase and like they bounce it, then like they would have to use Chalice anyway. This way, it's like trickier. You know, now it's like not as clear cut when Gamat wants to use this Seal. They might choose to do it on the Summon of Farigit here, just because it would mean that the last card in their hand would have to exactly be a Tri-Beast to pitch for Karos for this to be like worth it. So this actually is not horrible. Oh, okay. They have Call by the Grave too. Wow, they drew 2 1-ofs. That is devastating, because that not only insulates all of these plays, but also just stops any follow-up from happening, at least from Seal. And again, we already established there's not really rockets right now, so Boot Sector launch is not really an extender. They have, what is it, Farigit here, which can just simply summon out the Karos from hand. They can like link away. They can use Chaos effects. They also have the Pankratops. Appaloosa is not very strong right now. Oh wait. Oh, is this the same deal with Droplet versus like Appaloosa? No, because Chalice versus Zoos made the Zoos go to 0, right? And then gain the 4. If I'm not mistaken. Does this work the same way as Droplet? Like, does it freeze the attack? I think it's worded differently. I can't quite remember. So yeah, somebody let me know if like that's. I guess we'll find out what the proper attack value of Appaloosa would be. But it looks like they went to Rugal with the Farid plus the Nerval, and then they went for Chaos to banish the 3 that were engraved, including the Chaos that was sent via the kit earlier. Or not, sorry, not Chaos, Nerval. And then they're gonna go for Doom Eagle as well. Okay, maybe we won't find out because they might just link off in a strike. Straight up. And that would be really good because they'll have Rugal strike set up. Plus I'll have Pankratops to pop. Maybe they're gonna ask about okay, looks like not they're not. They're gonna go Doom Eagle to shuffle back Black Dragon, Collapse Serpent. And then they're gonna go for they're gonna go for Access Code. Wait, is this actually just game if they do this? This is actually just game, isn't it? 49 plus 53. Yo, wow, okay. I actually totally forgot. Access Code is a card for some reason. Yeah, so yeah, the type value of Appaloosa ended up just being completely moot. It didn't matter. And would you look at that? Dragon Link went first, but unless if the last card in the hand is Nibiru, it looks like it's the end of the game. Is Apple 400? We do have 2 judges here. Should be. So it does not function the same as Droplet. I'm gonna have to read after the match the wording on Droplet. Oh, so they're gonna actually just straight go for the attack. And that is the end of the match. So Tri-Brigade Zoo takes the finals of LCS 14 2-1 over Dragon Link. You know, Dragon Link going first, they get drilled, they get impermed. And that was a really strong 6-card combo. They had Callby, they had Pankratops, and Chalice. They also had Desires. All in all, really good cards. They had Fractal as well. They drew in the Chalice Callby off the Desires. Nasty. Yeah, they had Nerval as well, which they did, in fact, normal summon. So, wow, Tri-Brigade Zoo. I mean, this deck is really, really terrifying, and it's super unlikely to get hit on the list as well. So, yeah, this definitely might be indicative of what the post-July ban list format could look like. Because if Konami, addresses the decks around Tri-Brigade Zoo and not this deck, then that could definitely be or pave the way for this deck to just definitively take the top spot. So let me know if you guys in the comments want to see this deck being hit as well. Like if you guys want to see, I've seen like Tenki hits being thrown around. I've seen Zeus hits for just like pure Zoo, I guess. But yeah, let me know if you guys foresee or wish for any hits to this deck. But that is gonna be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as your thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me with the links in the description as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.